We must understand the need for violence is essentially fear. The more fearful you are, the more the tendency for you to become violent. You will see people who are fearful, first thing is they'll get verbally violent. If they find that whoever is in front of them is physically of less capability, they will also become physically violent. Where there is no fear, the need for violence will come down dramatically. So, why is the fear? What is the fear about? Essentially, the basis of fear is just this. In this a vast expanse of creation, this cosmic space, if you are identified yourself as a little body, this small little person in this vast cosmos, fear is natural. Most people are living in ignorance and trying to avoid fear, but if you really look at it, you are in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you're thinking, I'm in Los Angeles or New York, but actually, in this cosmos, you're in the middle of nowhere, your GPS cannot tell you where you are. If you really look at it, this tiny piece of life, if you're identified only with your biological self, this tiny piece of life should shiver in terror. One way of avoiding this is not look at all those things, think you are the greatest nonsense on the planet and go on. That'll work for some time, and when life and death gives you a taste of it, then fear will come anyway. But transcending fear, what it means is, if you bring your life in such a way, if you allow your life to happen in a certain way to you, if your experience of life transcends the boundaries of your physicality, if you handle your body in such a way that your body is as competent as it can be in the physical world, and your inner experience is beyond this physicality of who you are, you will see fear will become equanimous. One thing is you're physically competent, which makes you physically efficient and competent to handle the physical world. One who is physically fit walks into physical situations without much fear simply because of physical competence. This must be done right from very young age. Half the children going to school, you see, they're turning like pumpkins, drinking corn syrup So, when you become like a pumpkin as a child, then Halloween works for you, everything is fearful. If you're fit and competent and you're ready to fight the dragons then your physical self is competent. Because of that, a whole lot of fear is taken care of. And the other dimension is, your inner experience has transcended your physicality, then there is no fear at all. Now, you have transcended violence on both levels because physical is always under threat, we need to understand this. Physical is not a permanent fixture, physical is under threat. When we say we are mortal, what it means is, physicality is under threat always, that's the nature of physicality. Physicality is not an indestructible process, physicality is a fragile process. We can make it strong, but it's still a fragile process. So if these two dimensions are handled, that physical competence of a certain caliber and an inner experience which is beyond physicality, fear is handled. If fear is handled, transcending violence naturally happens. This is what Kalari is trying to do, a discipline which brings an enormous physical competence. At the same time, there is a meditative dimension to it which is striving to bring that experience beyond physicality. It is not about fighting somebody, it is about bringing yourself to the ultimate possibility that you can bring your body and mind to, and then work on your spiritual process to transcend this. Transcendence is not an avoidance, this must be understood. Transcendence means you're building something as a solid footstep over which you can stand or you can use to step over, because the fear is essentially because of fragility of physicality. And because of this fear, the need for violence. Violence means just this. When my physicality is threatened, I choose to destroy your physicality. That's all violence is. So if my physicality is not threatened, the need for destroying your physicality has considerably gone down. There may be other reasons, but still considerably gone down within me. If there is no threat to my physicality, the need to destroy your physicality or harm your physicality has gone down dramatically within myself. That is one level, and another level is to have an experience beyond my own physicality that even if my physicality is threatened, the need to destroy the physical nature of the other has gone down because my experience of life is beyond my physical nature.
A man went to the doctor and the doctor said, you have only 3 weeks to live. The man became distraught and said, Doctor, what can I do? The doctor said, take 3 mud baths a day. He said, oh, is that going to help? Can I live with it? Am I going to live longer if I do this? Doctor said, no, it's just that when they bury you, it won't be too much of a shock. You've already been there every day, 3 times. So, usually earth, soil. In United States, people refer to the soil as dirt. Here, you call it dirt or soil? Huh? Indian people soil. I'm asking others, do you call it dirt or soil? Normally in language, soil. So it's called dirt up there. So dirt, you're 12% dirt, all right? Just to get the dirt off, because the essence of your physicality is formed by the earth. Water, air, fire is there, but the essence of your physicality is because of the earth that you have taken. So this is the core physicality of who you are, and it's only 12%. Only 12%, but that is the core element of your physicality. But that is what is getting in the way. Water, easily you can transform. Air, you can easily transform. Fire takes some effort, but that is not really in the way, it's in a different way, the way fire functions. It is the earth which is getting in the way. So, just 12% getting in your way. See, not a big obstacle. Just 12% of your body is getting in the way of your liberation. I want you to understand, only 12%. You can go through the water, isn't it? You can go through the air. Fire you can cross, doesn't block you, in fact it lights up. It's only 12% of your physicality which blocks. Just getting that little dirt out of your way, that's not so complex. It's complex because you're identified with it and you're trying to change it. That's why it's complex. See, this flower, so beautiful and so alive, but it was not difficult for you to cut this from the plant and stick it here, isn't it? Your little finger, is it as beautiful as this flower? Is it? Don't tell me. Is it? No. Just cut it and put it here, let me see. No, because you're identified with it. No pain. Pain is not the only thing, we can give you an anesthetic. Pain is not the only thing. Pain is a protection, We can subvert the pain, isn't it? We can give you an anesthetic. Can you cut this finger and stick it here? Because you're identified with it. Yes? That's why it's in the way, not otherwise. Otherwise it's not in the way. What is a stepping stone has become a hurdle now because you're identified with it. So one way is, Bhuta Shuddhi means taking charge of it so that you can shape it the way you want it, so that it functions the way you want it. But at the same time, becoming super capable with the body can also be trouble for some people because they will get more identified with it because it's functioning so beautifully. They'll get furthermore identified. So, Bhuta Shuddhi comes with a certain balance, a certain mastery and a certain dispassion, a certain mastery and a certain dispassion. All practices are governed like this. So particularly practices concerned with earth are very strongly governed like this because if your body becomes super capable, you may become more ignorant than the way you are right now. It happens, isn't it? If you were like a little blob, you wouldn't be so proud of your body, you wouldn't be so identified with it. But you're like that, now it's all about your body, isn't it? Yes or no? It becomes all about your body simply because it is receiving appreciation, it is being looked up to. Now you become all about the body. To keep the body very fit and efficient and to keep a certain distance from it. This is how all practices are devised. On one level to make it competent, on another level to create a certain space. Without the space, if competence comes, ignorance rises to heavens, you know. One becomes far more ignorant than the way they are right now. So the practices of the earth are specially designed in such a way that without a proper initiation, they're never really taught. Because dispassion should be the first step before competence, otherwise people will get more entangled than the way they are right now. So can it be taught? Definitely it can be, but everybody being part-time yogis, weekend yogis, going on adding more and more practices, not good. Such people, what they should do is, all of you, what you should do is, in a year, you must take off for 2 or 3 weeks minimum. 2 or 3 times in a year, where this week or 15 days that you spend is just about this one, only for this being. Oh, is it not selfish? I want to go holiday, vacation with my family, I want to do this, I want to take care of children. I want you to understand, the best thing you can do to your family, to your children, to your society and to the world around you is enhance this one, isn't it? Yes or no? This is the best gift you can offer to anybody. If you become a beautiful human being, isn't this the best thing you can offer to people around you? Most human beings are difficult. Not always. I know that. Always difficult means they would have got rid of you. But difficult many times in a day. No, only twice a day. If somebody is difficult twice a day, it's quite a burden to carry them through, isn't it? Every day you get angry for 5 minutes only, you go wild for 5 minutes. This is enough to tire somebody of you, isn't it? You don't have to be angry 24 hours of the day. Just 5 minutes a day, every day you get angry, within a short span of time, people will have nothing but disgust for Yes or no? To make yourself disgusting, you don't have to dip yourself in filth. You just put one blob on your nose and walk around. That's enough. Nobody wants to come near you, isn't it? Everything else is clean and washed up properly. Just one blob of filth on your nose. Does anybody want to touch you? Huh? No? So that's all it takes, I'm saying. You don't have to be nasty throughout the day. Once in 3 days you practice nastiness, that's enough to be tired of you, isn't it? So you must get the dirt out of the way. At the same time, without it you cannot exist. So you have to make it more competent and more capable and more conscious. The same clay can be made into so many things. Yes? You can make a ball and throw it at somebody, or you can make a pot out of it. You can make just a pot to hold water, or you can make a very beautiful ornamental pot, or you can make porcelain out of it. You can do many things depending upon how many processes you're willing to do to that, isn't it? A piece of clay. So this is just that, a piece of clay. Depending upon how many processes you're willing to do to this one, accordingly, this becomes a completely different thing. Maybe you're just a brick, or maybe a pot, or maybe a very beautiful pot, maybe a porcelain pot. Today porcelain is being used even in engines, automotive engines, you know this? You know? They're making pistons out of porcelain. The most efficient thing, it can take any kind of temperature. So, it depends how many processes the same soil has gone through, isn't it? And you are also made of the same material. Depending upon how many processes you put through, accordingly the quality of this keeps on rising. So the quality of it rises if it happens without the necessary distance, that itself will become an entanglement. So, practices concerning earth element are taught in a particular way so that this balance happens of competence and space, both should happen together. See, Rama, born as a prince, born with fortune, he got the best of education those days could offer, and he got coronated as the king. Everything is right at a young age. He just marries a beautiful princess. Then some political situation comes where he is banished to the forest along with his new wife. She is not an Adivasi woman, she is a princess, not cut out to live in the jungle. Maybe in your Ramanand Sagar television show you saw Rama, Sita doing all that, so you are thinking, oh, they were on a safari. No, it's a punishment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if we leave you for 3 weeks in the jungle, that you have to survive by yourself, believe me, in 3 weeks when you cannot come out, we cannot recognize you, you will become like that, particularly you ladies, I'm telling you. Because Sita went, that's why I'm telling you. You will become in such a way, you will not be recognizable. Whenever I went off into the forest for weeks on end and I came back home, my parents wouldn't recognize me. Head to toe insect bites. You know, the way you will become in 3 to 4 weeks' time, it's hard, it's not easy. So, because both of them were banished into the forest, his brother went along just to help them out. As if this was not enough, the Sri Lankan people came and took the wife away. And after all, he's a king, somebody took away the wife. means he could find some local solutions for himself. But he is not that kind. He loves his wife, loves her enough to walk 2,700 kilometers south, walking, not flying, walking. Ravana went in the airplane. Rama went walking, yes or no? 2,700 kilometers walking down south, not knowing where she is. He must have loved her that much to do that, huh? Isn't it so? Then he goes there, then he discovers where she is, they have to cross, they have to build a bridge, which is proved that it is there, and then crosses over, fights, burns down a beautiful city, kills many people, many of his people get killed, somehow gets his wife back and brings her back home. Then she is pregnant. No sonogram. He does not know whether she has boys or girls or boy or girl or what. Because this is important for a king. He's an emperor, for him it's important to know whether she's delivering boys or girls or what is she delivering. But he does not know. Again some situation goes out of control and he has to send her to the jungle once again, fully pregnant woman. And Rama goes on. In the meantime, he is ruling without again getting married or getting engaged or anything like that, he just rules. And then a situation comes. See, if anything truly horrible has to happen in anybody's life, knowingly or unknowingly you kill your own child, this is the most terrible thing you could do to yourself, isn't it? He almost killed his children. He tried very hard to kill his children, not knowing they're his children. Fortunately, it did not happen, otherwise he would have killed them. And then Sita dies without ever seeing him in the jungle by herself. Do you call this a successful life, I'm asking? No. But we bow down to him because when all this drama was happening on his personal life, for most people, if any one of these situations happen, they will be broken. When serial disasters are happening in his life, the man did not become an angry man, a resentful man, a hateful man. He remained balanced, conducted his duties as he should, to such an extent, when we are working for our independence in this country, for our freedom struggle is going on. At that time, when we say an ideal administration, we say Ram Raj. Yes? In Ram Raj, it was good for the public, definitely not good for Ram. Yes? Terrible time he is having. No matter what the world is doing to him, he is doing his best every moment of his life. It is this freedom that he has within himself. No matter what life throws at you, you are doing your best to everything around you to such an extent. After 6,000 years, if we say ideal administration, even today we say Ram Raj, because this is all our life. If we are thinking that nice things should come to me, we will not do big things, either in perception or in action. Whatever comes, I will make it into a wonderful possibility. If this is there, then you step out into the world and do whatever you have to do. So it is this quality that we're bowing down to, that outside could not rule these people. Outside did many things to them, the world did many things to them, but it could not determine the nature of who they are. Who they are was determined by them.
The dance is so perfect, we almost forget the dancer. But there can be no dance without a dancer. We cannot see the dancer because our vision, our attention becomes so surface-oriented. To identify the dancer in the dance, either you must get immersed in the dance, that you also become the dance, that you are not a spectator, you are it. Then you know the dancer by experience, you're touched by it. But if you don't want to know the dancer in its full depth, in his full depth and dimension, you want to know the source of dance, that which is the basis of the act, then you must be able to pay absolute attention. In a way, staying away from the dance. These things look contradictory. On one level I'm saying you must plunge into the dance. Another level I'm saying you must be able to watch the dance with utmost intensity. This is not contradictory because you know the world is round. Nothing contradicts anything. It is just that when you look at it, fragmented, if you cut it down into pieces and look at it, everything seems to be contradictory. So, if you are here totally involved in the dance, totally involved in the act itself, that's one way of knowing. Or if you know how to keep away from the act, absolutely uninvolved in the act, but you're able to observe the act totally, you can decipher the difference between the act and the actor, the dance and the dancer. That is also a way of knowing it. Second takes much more awareness, sharpness, intensity, maybe training too. So it's easier to become part of the dance slowly as the rhythm picks up. As you get sucked into it, you suck deeper and deeper into it. One day you don't know which is you and which is the dance. Once you are a part of the dance, you cannot miss the presence of the dancer. It is just that we're inventing obstructions, hurdles and barriers where they don't exist. Recently, someone asked, I'm 54 years of age. You think that's a long time? And I have seen so many spiritual teachers, but I have never been drawn to anybody like you. I'm helplessly being drawn towards you. What is it that you got? So I said, I don't have anything that you don't have. It is just that all of us were given a seed that had the possibility of boundlessness. You are a very careful man. You are very careful and good, so you preserve the seed. I destroyed the seed and made it into a tree. If you want to make a seed into a tree, the seed has to go. If you nurture the seed, it will become a tree. If you keep seed as a seed and walk around, it's stupid actually. But it is not. Preserving yourself is considered smart. Allowing yourself to be demolished, to destroy the limited possibility of what an individual person is not considered smart. To be exclusive and to be preserved is considered smart. So after all, you are a smart man. So smart, you even conned life. Too smart. So once you become like this, there is no possibility of you being part of any act. You can neither be aware and just watch it, because that takes a different kind of dispassion, nor can you jump into it and become a part of it. Once it happened, Abe Maxwell met a painter whose name was Wolkowitz, and Wolkowitz was 73 years of age and just recently had been through an eye surgery. So he said, "You've just been through an eye surgery. How's your vision? Is it good enough to paint? Can you continue to be a painter? Without sharp vision, this is difficult." So Wolkowitz said, "I think I can paint. In case I find my vision fails and I cannot paint, I will become a critic." You can become an art critic if you can't see anything. So if you become a critic, you miss the whole act. Either you be a painter or you be a lover of art. If you're a critic, you miss the whole point. You'll know neither this nor that. And this keeps happening all the time. Self-appointed critics simply waste their lives. I forget his name. One great literary critic said this, "I have seen statues and portraits of authors, poets, artists, but never of a critic." Because you're a parasite like life. You don't have a life of your own. You thrive constantly looking and feeding on somebody else's life. This will not get you anywhere. If you're seeking survival, you can be a parasite. If you're seeking liberation, you cannot be a parasite. A child sucks upon her mother's breast, but you don't call a babe a parasite. That is okay, because a child is only nourishing himself to become free of the mother. A parasite is never intending to become free. A parasite is too concerned about its survival that it misses the possibility. So if survival
So, simply sitting there is not working for you. You can create a more active process. Why so many ways of doing things are set up? Even the same person, an individual person, may not be the same level of receptivity and openness every day of his life. So there is a chant, there is silence, there is sadhana, there is various other kinds of things. At least these three things if you take, there is a Guru Puja, there is a simple chant, or simply sitting silently, or sadhana. Any one of those things you do, it'll work. If you… and don't try to feel presence, you'll end up imagining. The important thing is not whether I am present or not, that you are present. So if you sit in one place, most of the time you're not present in that place, you wander the whole cosmos. So the best thing is, if your mind is in such a state, to chant, or to do some sadhana, or to do the Guru Puja, so that you are present. If you are present, I am present, always. I haven't failed yet. Even if I leave my body, I'll be still present. So you have to be present, that's the most important thing. You're present. There's no problem with my presence, it is your presence which is required. Somebody else cannot say, yes ma'am, when your name is called out. So it is you who has to be present. Whatever works for you, you be present that way. You can't be present without activity. Use activity. Okay, do the presence time, your Guru Puja time. Do that for you, that's the solution. You must understand this is about you being present to another dimension of reality. Me, am I present? I am. Because presence is not a geographical thing. Sadhguru, are you present in my house? I will lock all my doors, will you break the doors and come? Why don't you at least leave your doors open? Why should I force the door open like a burglar and come? Burglar anyway doesn't force, he slips in. Like a bandit. Why? Why don't you leave the door open and sit? It's about you being present. Right now, you're scattered all over the place. So if you cannot simply be present, use activity to be present. Guru Puja is an activity. If the time and place is such that you cannot do the Guru Puja, at least chant. That is also a kind of activity, a milder activity. It's fine. Simply sitting and being present takes a certain… generally either takes a lot of preparation or takes an external force. Most people, when they come to the first day inner engineering program, first thing they say is, 3 hours, I cannot sit. So we made it 3¼ hours. Because people said they can't sit for 3 hours. I thought there must be some taboo, 13 and 3 and whatever, so I said, 3¼ make it. Sadhguru, Americans cannot sit with 3¼ hours, all our teachers and others advising me. I said, it's okay, 3¼ hours, they will sit. Only first day they were struggling, from second day onwards, almost everybody sat except people who have some medical problems, that's okay. Because if you create something overwhelming, then they will sit because they don't know time anymore, they don't think in time. And time and space and the size of the bladder, everything you're making up, that's what he was saying. You're making up everything, it's your concept of life. So, now presence, you don't worry about me, it's about you being present. I'm very present. Oh. Sadhguru, but my 6:20 Detroit time, you may be sleeping. You don't worry, I'm present. Even if I'm dead, I'm still…
In a world full of cuts, short videos, and distractions, you chose to stay and listen until the end. That already says a lot about your willingness to look deeper. Drop your city in the comments, and if you'd like, subscribe and share this video with someone who's also not afraid to think. Thank you, a big hug to you, and see you in the next video.